Hey there. So in this installment of this interactive video series, I want to share with you a bit about time management, but I want to reframe the concept of time management to become energy management. Now, with energy management, I want to show you how you can create more clarity, vitality, and strength by developing by developing automated practices that you truly enjoy. Starting with an example here, I want to tell you about three common desires, three common themes of desires that I hear coming up with people a lot. So the first one is around food. It's oftentimes a desire to eat more vegetables, just like mom told us to do. So yeah, a lot of people these days are telling me that they want to eat more plants. They're also telling me that they want to take more time to cook for themselves, to nourish themselves. And maybe a lot of times too, if it's someone with a family or a partner, they want to be able to cook for and care for and nourish for their families better. The second part is a common theme that I see coming up is a desire to move more. So call it exercise, call it getting out in nature, call it strength and mobility, whatever you want to call it. People are telling me that they have a desire to move more than they actually are. And then the third thing that is a very common theme that comes up is that people are telling me they would like to have an authentic, true sense of genuine care and kindness to offer up to their loved ones or the people that they care about in their life, or maybe even like their co-workers and their work. So just more care and kindness within their interactions of daily life. All right, so that's like one piece of it, this common theme around desires that I hear people expressing. And then the other side of it is the obstacles that come up and get in the way of people actually fulfilling and creating those desires that they have. So the first obstacle that's really common is not enough time, which not enough time also equates to having a really busy or full schedule. And it's so busy and full that people can't figure out how to fit anything else in or can't find any kind of rhythm with sticking with the action to get towards the desires that they want. Or second scenario is where people are telling me like, well, I can figure out how to make the time, but I kind of don't want to, because for some reason, even what I want to do, this stuff with food or movement or stress reduction, if you will, even though I want to do it, it feels like something I have to do. And because it's something that I have to do, I want to rebel against it, right? So the inner rebel is the other obstacle that gets in the way of people actually moving towards their desires. All right, so we've got the desires on one hand and we've got the obstacles on the other, these two little opposing forces. Now, to pause before I go on, if you can resonate with any of that, if you're like, I see a little bit of myself in that, I want to normalize that for you. Or even if you see it, if that's not your issue, but you see it in some other people that you love, I want to normalize that. I get, I think, a rare and privileged opportunity to be able to talk to a lot of different people. So I get a lot of different perspectives of what's going on in people's inner world and lifestyles. And I hear these things a lot. I genuinely hear these things a lot. They are common themes within our current culture. So Please don't ever feel alone in that if you're struggling with how to put all this together. Okay, so digging in, the other thing is I want to offer up some tangible ideas and a practice for you here today that will lead you to crafting your own solutions that fit into your own unique lifestyle. So once again, remember, we are reframing the concept of time management into energy management. Now, when it comes to energy management, one thing that can really help us is developing practices, automated practices that preserve and strengthen our energy and even build our energy and vitality. So when I say practices, I mean things like yoga or exercise, or all of our routines with food and self-nourishment, our routines with stillness, meditation, so on and so forth. So any practices that refill our cup. And the key that makes them our practices rather than some arbitrary to-do list out here that we may or may not get to is that the activities become automated. So when something is automated, it actually saves energy. Every time we have to think about what we're going to do, why we might want to do it, what time of day we're going to do it, all of that back and forth, bouncing around, takes time and energy and thought processes, right? It sucks it. Versus when something is automated, we don't think about it, we just do. So it's really quite efficient. All right, so brushing teeth, I always like to give that example. Brushing teeth is great. We no longer spend any time thinking about, should I brush my teeth when I first wake up or after I have coffee? Should I even brush my teeth today? Why do I want to brush my teeth, right? Maybe if we have a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 17-year-old, we might still be trying to stress the importance of automating that habit. But hopefully as an adult, that's not something that sucks our energy and time anymore. It's just an automated habit. All right. So automation here, that's the first idea, is that we want to have practices that rebuild and strengthen our vitality. And we want these practices to be automated because automation preserves more energy. So then with that, we get energy management times 2. We have practices that are refilling our cup and giving us energy, and we're not spending any time or wasting any time figuring out what, how, when, and where. They're automatic. So now we've made even more energy. All right, so now the second method for protecting your energy and vitality is to get really clear about what brings you joy and excitement when it comes to these kinds of practices. And the flip side of that, which is realizing when something feels like a have to, and when something, and in that process of feeling like a have to, it is actually draining you. Which leads me to the action step for today. So if you have a piece of paper, go ahead and grab it. I recommend that you just go ahead and do this little activity right now. It's just a series of questions. You get to write the answer to. It shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes. If you need more time, just pause in between the questions so that you can write them down more thoroughly. And then in the next video that I send out in a couple days, I'll show you how to take the answers to the questions that you come up with today and stack them together to be able to save even more time and amplify the energy, vitality, and goodness that you get from them. All right, so questions. The first one is, what are your favorite ways to move your body, right? So what kinds of exercise movement do you love? Is it walking in nature? Is it dancing? Is it weightlifting? Is it yoga? What is it? All right, which foods and drinks do you know make you feel the best when you consume them? So go ahead and write that down. Get specific. Which foods and drinks make you feel the best when you consume them? Next question. What are your favorite ways to unwind and let go that you know refills your tank, right? So favorite ways to unwind and let go that also refills your tank. And that can be kind of a tricky one because we can have different patterns around unwinding and letting go, but the activities actually don't fill the tank. They might actually clog up the channels or even deplete us further. So get sincere with that question and figure out what activities for letting go do you have that also refill your tank. All right. And last question here. Who are your favorite and most cherished people that really bring you joy when you are with them? Right? Who are your favorite, most cherished people that bring you a lot of joy when you're with them? All right, and then the bonus piece, the bonus set of questions that goes with that same set of questions that I just gave you is to flip them and to actually get the opposite, answer the opposite. So what are your least favorite ways of moving your body? So maybe what kinds of exercise do you do because you think you have to, but you don't even really like them, right? So let's identify those too, the flip side of each of those questions. All right, so that's it. Time management is actually energy management. You can depend on clarity, vitality, and strength on a daily basis when you develop automated practices or habits that refill your cup. And you can also build energy when you craft your practices in a way that truly brings you joy. Okay, so next video, come back, listen to that one too. I'll show you how to take the answers that you created and combine them together in a way that will get you even more time and energy. All right? Thanks so much. See you next time.